This one is absolutely nuts as far as wild things on the internet. This is a boxing match. It looks like a boxing match. It was a boxing match between two contestants. It took place in China, and they're wearing boxing gloves. So you would assume you're in a boxing match. However, one of the boxers approaches the other one in the middle of the boxing match and actually just body slams them instead of boxing with them. Japanese professional boxer and former WBO flyweight world champion Sho Kimura was involved in a cross-border exhibition fight under boxing rules in Wuhan, China. Now, apparently, the guy he was boxing on the left is sort of like a social media boxer. You know, the social media boxer phenomenon?
Okay.
A celebrity fighter of sorts.
But the guy on the right is a legit boxer.
A real boxer with a history record and won titles and things like that. And so anyway, apparently the Japanese boxer believed that it was typical boxing rules. This is the story. And the Chinese boxer and his team distributed some sort of alteration to the rules just prior to the boxing match starting.
Okay.
Which stipulated that body slams were okay.
Why just body slams?
No, I guess just like whatever, anything goes.
Is this a boxing match or an MMA match?
It definitely looks like it was going to be a boxing match, and then it wasn't. This clip, no, this is just old clips of him boxing. I think, yeah, there you go. So yeah, you're in it.
Geez.
He just picks him up
right from the beginning.
Just picks him up, and he doesn't expect it, and he picks him up, body slams, and the guy's arm kind of gets trapped under him.
On his head.
And he's also, there's kicks and trips and everything else.
And that guy, he's not out, but he is clearly finished.
Right. And he's clearly not ready for it either. Now, it's a huge controversy right now, by the way, because apparently there's some sort of like political component. Can you scroll down a little bit more? Let me make sure I get this right. Shout out, by the way, to, can you read that, Will? It's a little bit small for me.
Nettle AG Husby.
Oh, I guess it's even smaller for you because I'm pretty sure it's a V at the front. But anyways, thank you for the super chat.
Vettel. Sorry. Yeah.
And it's another currency. I have no idea. NOK. But it looks like a lot of money. 219.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to everybody who supports this. This is incredible privilege. Okay, so scroll down a little bit more. I think there's a whole like thing about how this happened. There was a lot of back and forth, tough talking prior to the match, as there typically would be. And there was threats going back and forth, what I'm going to do to you. And there's a leaked conversation that took place on Weibo. And apparently there was a verbal confirmation that the match was actually Chinese Kung Fu versus Japanese boxing, which allowed wrestling moves to be available.
Okay.
The Chinese celebrity boxer wore a national flag to celebrate the victory. He put the clip up of his fight on WeChat and titled it Chinese Power. In the following response to criticism, he said, "Do you still need rules for China to fight Japan? I can't sleep if he doesn't die. It seems there are many Chinese traders supporting Japs. This is China forever, China." So it turned into like a racial thing and like I guess a racist thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of the reason why why this guy was justifying having no rules and not having an actual boxing match.
And the Chinese fighter weighed in at 22 pounds more.
Which if it were a boxing match, because Logan Paul did something similar to that.
Sure.
Right? Because he's the more experienced guy.
You mean Mayweather?
Yeah, in the Mayweather. But even in this case, the Japanese boxer is a much more experienced guy. So you could have a little discrepancy in weight to make up for whatever experience advantage might exist. But then this guy just changed the rules completely. It's kind of like when people talk about MMA fighters and they're like, when Woodley was fighting Jake Paul, remember? They're like, oh, if it was an MMA match, will he just pick him up? It's like, yeah, he absolutely would. But it's not. That's not what they signed up for. They signed up for a boxing match. And in this case, they're wearing boxing gloves.
Right.
So, I don't know. Very bizarre story. And, just weird. Weird situation here.
Oh, and how the rules change.
What do you think, Will? How do you feel about it?
Well, this is terrible.
You're pissed. You're pissed right off.
Could be a long-term damage there.
You're pissed right off when somebody's completely not prepared for what's coming.
Yeah.
Or the rules of a particular fight. Yeah, so weird. I don't know. Just a bizarre, bad thing for mixed martial arts. I guess you got to know. You got to agree on the rules beforehand.
Of course, yes.
And this seemed like a bait and switch situation.